guys, welcome to the planet 7. My name is Yuto, I can't stay here. I'm bringing you guys a simple message that I bring you guys the most. So, I ended up saying, I really think to say I love France, I love Paris, and I love the people in France who can try to help me if you don't want to help. So, I saw it on Wikipedia, and it's kind of hard to believe back to things that I really don't want to believe from my eyes. So I think about this is the most unbelievable yet horrifying idea. But in this one, the Paris attacks are quite simple, as I didn't know. That I really know, or I didn't basically know about the news, or I've seen it a lot before. But on November 13th, 2015, Friday, after a huge attack in Paris. So, a lot of you don't know about the war. It's really about everything. The November 2015 Paris attack. So, it will happen in my first day that I ever seen my own thing, but I can't probably stay in my own stuff again. I got nothing to lose or nothing to hide. Everything. The locations. So, the suicide bombings right here, like, include Bataclan. So, on November 13th to 14th, Friday to Saturday of November 2015, that a suicide bombs that could attack, right? That could probably attack Paris, France. So, it's hard to say this is the worst thing, but this is like the best thing ever had to do. The location of the attacks was Paris, France, in Saint Denis, near Stade de France, Rue Bichat, and Rue Anibalt, le Petit Cambodge, le Calidon, Rue de la Fontaine, Arroyer, Café Bon Meilleur, la Casa Nostra, the Bataclan Theater, Rue de Chaclon, le Rebelle Equipe, and all the stars are detonated some individual suicide bombings, nearly in Bataclan. So, the date of the suicide bomb is attacking at the November 13 to 14. This date that would be never believed. So, the date of the suicide bombings in Paris was November 13 to 14, 2015. It's like a suicide attacks. And the tactic was the mass shooting, the hit and run tactics, the bombing, hostage taking, and the suicide attack. So, the weapons are AK-47 assault rifles, hand grenades, and suicide vests. So, a lot of deaths was 136, of which 129 immediate victims, right? Take a look at this. This is what I finally looked on cell phone right now. This is like the suicide bombing that can never ever happen. So, this is the suicide attack, which is attacked on November 13th, Friday. I probably basically knows about. But, I've seen it in Paris, France, a couple of weeks ago. On the 13th right now. On the 13th of November 2015, there's a massive suicide bombings near over in Paris, France. I saw everything and anything what I've seen it. There's a lot of people die, and also non-fatal injuries is 443. And then suspected perpetrators is Islamic State of Iraq and Lebanon. So they were revenging in the city of Paris. So on the evening of November 13, 2015, it says about that, according to this, on the evening of November 13th, 2015, so that's the night, the late. So last November 15th, last Friday, I've seen this way before, the Paris attacks, they're taking the revenge of Iraq. So, according to the Wikipedia, it says here, On the evening of November 13, 2015, a series of coordinated terrorist attacks consisting of mass shootings, suicide bombings, and hostage-taking occurred in Paris and in the northern suburb of Saint-Denis beginning at 2120. There were three separate suicide bombings outside the Stade de France, along with massive shootings. There's suicide bombings. Mass shootings, I say. Mass shootings. So, the deadliest of those attacks took place at the Bataclan Theater, where attackers took hostages for engaging in a standoff with police, which ended at 8 p.m. on the 14th of November. So, the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant claimed responsibility for the attacks. So, 129 victims were killed, 89 of them at the Bataclan Theater. Another 433 people were admitted to a hospital with injuries sustained in the attacks, including 80 described as being critically injured. In addition to the victims, 7 attackers died, and the authorities continue to search for any accomplice remaining at large. So, since the day that the attackers are deadliest in France, so in World War II, so I basically noticed, you guys, for a long time, that the riots are even basically about the prior to the attack, right? They're having a lot 2015 attacks in Paris right now. There are lots of attacks in Paris died instantly since January in 2015, and now in November 13 to 14, they are civilians. So, let's take a look at the movie background. So, the French military began airstrikes in Iraq on September 19, 2014, in an operation known as Operation Shamal. So, France has been on high alert for terrorism since the Charlie Hebdo shooting and a series of related attacks in early January 2015. So, this is gonna be believed. This is like the things that like a lot of the factors or people in the city of France have seen everything. So hashtag pray for France and hashtag Paris attacks. 2 of the hashtags were created. They waiting to die. These guys have a lot. The 2 Jewish brothers, Pascal and Joanne Laloux, owned the Bataclan Theater for more than 40 years until they sold it. In 2011, a group calling itself Army of Islam told French security service they have planned an attack on the Bataclan because its owners were Jewish. ISIL, or probably known as the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, right? The Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, and their branches claimed responsibility for numerous deadly attacks which took place in the weeks leading up to the Paris attacks. On November 12, 2015, twin suicide bombings took place in Beirut, Lebanon, killing 43 people. On October 21st, 2015, Metrojet Flight 9268 carrying mostly Russian passengers crashed in the Sinai Peninsula, Egypt, killing 224 people. So, they will strike again. So, the Islam of Iraq and the Lebanon, or every ISIL, or it stands for that. A lot of people don't know Iraq, they're racist. And I didn't know how he basically got getting a whole lot of time. But seriously, I'm not Yuto. I'm just Yuto. So, I'm Yuto Yamamoto, hosting this video, and basically this is like that. I'm hosting this video, and this message dedicates to all of the fans, or dedicated to all you people being to live a lot more time. So, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the worst thing I ever done. So, I've probably been waiting for you guys. I'm Yuto Yamamoto. I'm hosting this video, and I have a message. A message to the French. Okay? I bring you guys a message to the French fans anywhere I wanted now. So, in 2015 of November, I saw This Is It. This is probably the biggest and the most deadliest thing about you guys in France. And I can't basically die when you're making me so happy when you're making me. So, I'm Yuto Yamamoto. I'm making a message for the French fans everywhere, for the French people, for the people in France who never lived or never died. So, I host this video recognizing for the dedication of the November 13, 2015 Paris attacks. So, the Islamic State of Iraq and Levant would die to just like 7 attacks at once there. So, I finally basically get you guys a little track on mine open-handedly in my life. So, I bring you guys to let you say a lot of people in France died, and it's a lot of the basic things, right? So, in suicide bombings, attackers are racist. That Iraq brings that responsibility to me, because if I don't know why you basically right or wrong, if you gotta be staying together. Paris is my favorite place that I love to visit, and France is my favorite world that I ever imagined to play. But the German national football team was advised not to return to its hotel, where there have been bombed right earlier in the day, and they spent the night in the stadium on mattresses, along with the French team who stayed with them in a display of camaraderie. The attacks were 7 months before France, due to host the UEFA Euro 2016 tournament. So, street shootings and bombers, it will be shot and you nearly belt. So, I really did do something that. So, according to French police, 11 people were killed at a restaurant. And an eyewitness said one of the gunmen shouted "Allahu Akbar." That's the same thing as like you ever never seen the fire before. So, Allahu Akbar is the things that you ever notice the word. Allahu Akbar is the Iranian word. So, I don't know how you think this video is gonna run. So, this is it. This is like I heard this video works. So, according to this, the takbir, also written takbir or takbir, is the term for the Arabic phrase Allahu Akbar, usually translated as Allah is great, Allah is the greatest, God is great, or God is the greatest. So, God is the Arabic word for Allahu. Allahu is God. So, Muslims never know about that. Just being a little bit Arabian. So, I don't know how Allahu Akbar would never say it that way. The gunman shouted Allahu Akbar. The assailants fled in 1 or 2 vehicles after the shootings with a Belgian number plate. Doctors and nurses from the nearby Hospital St. Louis were in Le Charbon when the attacks happened, and supplied emergency assistance to the wounded. Bataclan Theater Massacre. At approximately 21:45, a mass shooting and hostage-taking occurred at the Bataclan Theater on the Boulevard Voltaire in the 11th around the Signet, owned by a Jewish family for decades. The Bataclan was sold to new owners in September 2015. The venue has been repeatedly threatened for sponsoring pro-Israel events. In 2011, a group calling itself Army of Islam treated the Bataclan, apparently because its owners were Jewish. The American band Eagles of Death Metal played to an audience of around 15,000 people. American band Death Toes, which were scheduled to play at the Bataclan the following night, were among the crowd, but had left before shooting. About an hour into the concert, three dark-clad men with an AK-47 assault rifles entered the hall. Witnesses heard the shouts of "Allahu Akbar" just before the gunmen opened fire on the crowd. Initially, the audience mistook the gunfire for pyrotechnics. The attack lasted 20 minutes, and witnesses also reported seeing the attackers throw hand grenades into the crowd. A radio reporter, Julien Pierres, who attended the concert, described the attackers as calm and determined, telling CNN they had reloaded 3 or 4 times. Around 20, the attackers took 60 to 100 concertgoers hostage as police gathered outside the venue. The band's members, as well as the musicians of the opening act, Austrian rock group White Mouse, escaped without injury. A witness who escaped the attack told the journalist that the gunman had mission to Syria. One witness in the Bataclan said a young man wrote, "This is because of all the harm done by Holland to Muslims all over the world." There were further attacks on police and first responders who arrived at the scene. From 15 to 58, police launched an assault on the theater after reports the attackers had begun killing hostages. Initial police reports estimated that 100 people were killed at the theater, but the total was later revised to 87. 2 attackers died by detonating their suicide vest. Another was hit by police gunfire, and his vest blew up when he fell. The area was cordoned off after the attacks. Identification and removal of the bodies from the theater took 10 hours. 10 hours, a process made difficult because some concert attendees had left their identification numbers in the Bataclan cloakroom. This is like only one at a time. So, France, let's pray for us. Pray for Paris, pray for France. So, write the hashtag. Please follow me on Twitter. Follow you on Twitter and follow Walter on Twitter. That's at IamBlueJonesXXX and at WatcherSept19. So hashtag follow me, hashtag follow me, and hashtag follow me on Twitter was 3 of the biggest hashtags I can remember about that. So I'm pretty sure this is really good to do this. So if you want to follow, please subscribe to US channel, and I'll be joining and also creating a new channel for you guys. So this is like the greatest thing I've ever seen in my whole entire life. So this is what I'm talking about. This is for the positive things out there. So thank you guys for watching, and this is Yuto Yamamoto saying, and as always, taking off to planet Earth, and I will see you soon. Stay awesome, guys. Bye bye.